See the appearance. Vice President of the Seoul Hall, whom I don't know his name. We call Yostudin. Obviously surprised the meeting room. The main hall, even when Saiwan wanted to act, drove him away. The Udin suddenly showed a projection image about the suffering of the Ozan, who is currently confined within the secret prison of the Hall of Souls. The show just now obviously makes Xiao Yan was really provoked by emotion and filled with an overwhelming killing resolve. But fortunately, when Xiao Yan's aura has fluctuated and his fist almost floated towards the vice chairman, Seoul Hall Queen Medusa beside her immediately asked her husband to calm himself. Xiao Yan just frowned and regained his composure. Udin suddenly asked for it, to hand over the ancient Jade Emperor, Toes, and exchanged for Xiaozan. Realize this, it can make his father quite faster. Xiao Yan then asked Udin to bring his father to this place. If you want to get Gyoku no Toze. If not, it is useless. Even if his father's life energy runs out inside the Jade, he will definitely hand the Jade over to Klengo. Zion's arrogant speech just made Udin actually laugh and ask him to not always be arrogant. Even with Ezeon established the Sky Hall Alliance, it was still impossible to fight the Seoul Hall. He also pointed to the Pill Tower, Valley of Fire and Sect, flowers to wait for destruction. All along, the Seoul Hall had given them a chance. But they joined the Oyin. Want to fight the Hall of Souls. Even more so, the Seoul Hall had also long targeted alchemists. Dian Linmu, just laugh and do not care about the Bibakad. Udin Periking and Huayan ancestors also do the same thing, as if they have no fears, the slightest against the aura of the soul, while the Oyin immediately showed a dark look. He asked the Udin not to much ado, and deliver the message. If Klenhan in the Seoul Hall, he will soon slaughter. Along with that, and the Oyin raised his hand to destroy space in front of him. Laughter. Udin echoed again. He insists on not being arrogant, just been a lecturer. Even someone as strong as the Oswan, even if able to be taken down by the Clayhun. After the sound disappears and the black fog also disappears, Alliance meeting room. Back to normal. Post-departure Udin, Yaochen and the three elders directly involved gossip about the Seoul Hall. They also think the Seoul Hall must have been watching their movements for a long time to know the formation of an alliance. Sky Hall, while nodding and saying that the vice president of the Seoul Hall, Pasela, was afraid of the formation of their alliance and doesn't dare to show his true form. The Oyin also confirmed the problem of forming an alliance has been resolved, and no one asked any questions or objection. Xiao Yan intended to announce the formation of an alliance in time, some days. Other than that, also to give each other support. He had each faction build a wormhole so that every part of the members can connect each other. Short story. After the four factions announced the formation of the alliance, Sky Hall, the entire Central Plains were instantly tossed by this big news. Chaos and gossip started spreading at incredible speed. The four factions have reputation is very well known throughout the region. Central Plains, with the news a lot. Leader of each faction began to come to the pavilion of shooting stars. Their purpose is clear. Volunteered to join the alliance so that it can get some protection. It's just realize not all vaccines have genuine intentions and often leave members. When in the worst situation, both Xiao Yan and Yao Chen do not carelessly accept members. Other than that, also, as usual, Xiaomi is not too preoccupied with alliance affairs. Instead, Yao Chen asked Feng Zunze to help her so that King Xiao Yan can focus on increasing strength. Even in this time period as well, 4 factions have built a wormhole and are interconnected, as well as taking out several hands. A Hall of Souls in the Central Plains region, while the Soul Hall still hasn't shown any response. When all the higher-ups of the fallen star Pavilion gathered, Xiao Yan then had an idea. If the Soul God deliberately does not react, just to wait for the Lotus Fire to appear, the purification of the devil that will appear in 9 months. When Yun is confused, how could the Hall of Souls possibly know information about the appearance of the heavenly fire of his quarry? Xiao then confirmed, if the Klenhun has the ability far from what that they actually imagine, for that reason, there are still 9 months. Xiao Yan asked Xiao Yan to make preparations and increase strength. The Soul Hall must be, will send powerful individuals to fight over it. When the Oyan could only frown, realized it was very difficult to increase cultivation. When it has reached Realm Doseng Apayo, Chenlars asked her for Santui. He's not talking about Oyan's power, but about Kaylin, where Kaylin is a python of 7 colors. As long as he gets enough energy, then it's not that hard for Kaylin to reach Ranabansing, even with the powerful 7-color snake physical body. Highland surrender, able to face a lecturer, even though it's only in the Bansing class. Didn't get here. After returning from the territory of the ancient homeland, he heard the news. Sunair are doing closed exercises to break through the realm, dosing so that if the 2 chili really get increase, then they must both be very reliable. Sabian could only smile bitterly and realize the 2 chilies do have a talent for overpower from birth. She's a little confused. How to help Kaylin? Getting energy. The energy required is not small. Yalo remind. If Kaylin has a 9-color stone that he got at the spatial space auction, if Kaylin is lucky, may not just break through the realm of Bansing, but evolved into a 9-color sky python. Become one of existence that is comparable to the ancient celestial serpent. Briefly after discussing the issue of Kaylin and also Sunar, Xiao Yan then asked Xiao Yan to visit the eyes. 9 calm water in the territory of the 9-ground python clan, and required that Xiao Yan find a blood crystal, which is the core ingredient of making 9 Ying spring pills. Where are the pills? Had the effect of weakening the heavenly fire of purifying the devil, so that he can help Sioya. If you want to purify heavenly fire. While receiving a recipe roll from Abaya Ochin, the Oyan's heart was full of determination to get Fire Heaven Wiburanya. He doesn't care about the consequences either. In his heart, just determined to keep getting stronger, to save his father and the rest of the members, Clanzio of the Hands of the Soul Hall. As if they're aware of their students' determination, Xiao Yan then explained 9 quiet springs lie deep underground. Is the sacred territory of the 9-ground python. It even became a magical place for all the beasts, type of snake like liquid. Even though the place has the energy, so cold and dark, he didn't even dare to explore too far. But with the Oyan has 4 heavenly fires, then the energy in the place, I'm sure it wouldn't affect him, as well as being able to get blood crystal. Other than that also, despite the place they went to later, must have been heavily guarded by the Python clan, 9 lands that are one of the 3 beast clans. Top level boss, but Xiao Yan asked his students to Santoya Jai. With the power of Doseng Sioyan. Right now, not many members of the 9-ground python can fight it. Just in case. Xiao Yan still gave Xiao Yan a Spatiac token, so that if something unwanted happens, himself and his ancestors Hao Yun can be soon help her. Short story, the next day, Xiao Yan hurried to lead Xiao Stuffing, Kinglin and Carolyn out of the Pavilion of Shooting Stars towards Beast Territory. Group They Don't Stop aka Stop By. After entering the territory of beasts, They went straight to the territory of the nine-ground python clan was. From a distance, they could see 9 ravines, the ground that is a tunnel, the key to an underground world. Though it must have been heavily guarded by members of the nine-ground python. But obviously, the guard does not affect the power. The Xiao Yan at this time. Not long after, just now Xiao Yan want to use the power of space and let all the members into the abyss. They were suddenly surprised to see several figures appear from the horizon. Even from clothes that they use, the Xiao Yan realized they were from the ancient Void Dragon clan. Just now the Xiao Yan thought were the people sent by Xian. A dragon commander named Qin suddenly mentioned to the members of the Nine Python clan if they were sent by the Dragon King for the sake of discussing cooperation, expressed to breast, it changes when you listen to it. He realized the group was deliberately sent by 3 islands, Xian's enemy. So he decided to go to the island immediately. Eastern dragons after the problems in this place are resolved. The Xiao Yan's eyes were diverted again when I saw some of these figures talking to many members of the nine-ground python clan. Then when the group entered the ravine gate, the Xiao Yan then opened the spatial space and bring all members to follow the group. In short, when Commander Qin led his army, she was shocked to feel a figure not far from them and realized it wasn't from the Nine Python clan. So he asked all his members to be careful. But baby, his words were a little late, where the Xiao Yan raised his hand and directly suppressed the entire members of the ancient Void Dragon, unable to move at all. See the Xiao Yan, able to stick people with just one move. Even he was at 5 stars. Dozen couldn't do anything. Instantly made my heart filled with fear. While Xiao Yan asked in a cold voice, "They're from Dragon Island. Which region?" Just don't understand how the young man in front of him could know his identity. And he has a secret mission in this place. Commander King obviously did not want to answer, thus making the Xiao Yan directly frown and pressed his hand to the King Commander. Make the King Commander's body instantly torn apart and bleeding a lot of every hole in his body. Xiao Yan explained, "The blood in his body will drain out within 5 minutes." Commander Qin immediately showed the face of extreme fear. Whereas the Beast Clan, his strength comes from a bloodline. And if their blood runs out, then his life will be useless. He no longer has any powers. With the fact, Koma and Qin then explained, if they come from the northern Dragon Island, currently 3 Dragon Islands have formed an alliance and ready to start a war with Eastern Dragon Island. Even the elders have returned from exile. But because Eastern Dragon Island has had a new emperor and his power over power, the 3rd Dragon King then sent him to recruit the Python tribe. 9 lands joined the alliance. Even the 3 Dragon Kings also recruited the Heavenly Demon Ponic clan in exchange for Xian's body. The explanation just now is clear. Makes Zion really emotional. Even Queen Medusa, aka Celine, beside him hurried to ask whether they should go to the ancient Void Dragon realm to help Zion, while shaking his head, and throw the Commander Qin with his members to a ravine. The Xiao Yan also said, as long as the Heavenly Demon Pony clan and the Python clan, 9 land does not enter the dimension of the ancient Void Dragon, then Xian must be able to overcome the other 3 Dragon Islands, so that they have to focus on completing mission in this place as soon as possible. Short when the Xiao Yan back to lead the group and arrived at an underground hill, they could see a lot clan group Python 9 ground until marked that this place is indeed very closely guarded. Realized there was some elite Bansang and don't want to get into a fist fight too soon. The Xiao Yan then released a barrier to isolate their aura. then quietly continued the journey. Until finally, they arrived at a giant ravine. Without further ado, and getting protection from heavenly fire to the breast, then immediately brought the group into the bottom of the abyss and arrived at a lake. Even a cold and dark aura capable of destroying Doki instantly spread out from across the lake. Aware of the lake in front of them is a spring lake. Previously told by his teacher, the Xiao Yan doesn't want to waste time. He then confirmed to all his members that he would enter the lake and look for blood crystals, while the two colleagues he asked to keep Kayleen practice, while Jahelin and the other Chili nodded. Xiao Yan then released his heavenly fire and sped into the lake, even just diving aka Ngoje King. Xiao Yan immediately felt the pressure from the lake water. Even he was able to experience multiple lives, like a snake that seems to be very much, and like a fog. It's like a fire lizard in the ocean. Magma Academy Jianan. Right when Xiao Yan releases heavenly fire energy in large numbers to repel the hordes of snakes, the black snakes unexpectedly rampaged when he saw many of its members killed, thus making Xiao Yan without hesitation hurried to continue diving to the bottom of the lake, off in the passage of time, and did not find what he was looking for. And think whether the blood crystals in this place have run out. Brushed by the 9-ground python clan, the Xiao Yan was suddenly startled by a strange voice. So she immediately focused herself. He also thinks, is there anyone else in this place besides him? Right when he landed at the bottom of the lake, the Xiao Yan accidentally saw an old Aki-Aki with a lot of chains locked in this place. Even from his perception, the Xiao Yan was able to realize the father is in the realm of 3 Doseng stars. Well guys, how? Spoilers in this section. Pretty exciting guys, yeah. Yes, even though there is no scuffle. But a lot of interesting facts come to light, guys. Yes, besides the Ozan alias Father Xiao Yan, still alive in exchange for Giokuno. Hai Sarto-san. Xiao Yan also finally OW towards the calm spring area for the sake of getting blood crystals. He even got the news. If the ancient Void Dragon clan back in tension, so that the Xiao Yan has the intention to immediately go to the Eastern Dragon Island region. Well, for friends that don't want to miss update and spoiler, page next episode. Just click subrec and turn on the notification, yeah guys. Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot for friends who've been watching till the end. This is Brother Frank, the head of the sect. Stand down first. See you and bye-bye. Hey, I think I've let go fed up. With old friends they'll never find it in. My blood, what should I do if I give up or